So hello there. So how are you, Roberta?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. So how's it doing there in your part of the world?
We're doing really good. The weather is changing, so it's getting a little warmer. We're in that nice time, so everybody's kind of glad to get the winter over and get into spring stuff. So I think we're doing really good. Everybody's happy. Today's the anniversary of Stephen's passing, so then we go back and forth.
Yeah.
You know how that is. So.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't want to dwell on negative stuff. I think we lost her.
So Dan.
There she is.
Yeah.
Do you have me now?
Yeah.
Do you have me now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, well, Dan, maybe you need to stay on to pick up the pieces where you could just jump in if you can't hear me. I don't know what to say. So when we get finished, of course, I will redo my router to see if that helps. But I can't do it now because I think if I do it now, it's going to take too long to heat up again.
Yeah.
So the only thing we could do is if you wanted to do this at 2 o'clock instead, I could try to redo the router and come back. What do you think I should, is that hard on you now, Roberta? You have a 2 o'clock?
No, that's fine with me.
What do you think I should try that, Dan?
Yeah, we could probably do that. The only thing is I have to be in Pompano Beach at 3:30 to get my shot.
Okay. Well, we could just do this and see what happens if you want.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, let's give it a shot. We'll take it as far as we can go.
Is it more where I'm talking or where Roberta would be talking? Because I can let her talk a lot more.
Yeah, no, Roberta's fine. Roberta's connection is super good.
Okay. So maybe, Roberta, what we're going to do, I'll introduce you, and then maybe we can have you talk a lot about, of course, what AIM is. And just, and then you also ought to talk about what's happening with COVID and if you're being affected there, any of your members or whatever is happening. Do you have enough to do? Well, I'll be here with you, but I think we just need to make sure that you can talk more than I can since I'm having this problem. I don't know. Anyway, we'll just try it.
Glasses.
You look good. Are those new glasses?
I just use readers. So I just changed the colors today because I'm wearing blue. So I thought,
that's very nice with your blonde hair, right? It's very pretty. Okay, so I'll get started and then I'll introduce you and then we'll go for it. Okay?
Sounds good.
Take it away.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm Anita Finley, and I am your host for the Zoomer Times TV, which is brought together by Boomer Times Magazine. And we've had such wonderful guests along the last many, many months. It's probably a year now. We're not doing radio. We're doing the Zoomer Times because we get to see the people right there in their offices or wherever they are. And I think it's working out better. So thank you for sticking with us with this. And today we have a great guest. It's an unusual subject, and that's why I love to bring Roberta Hladek on our show because she is rare. Her subject is rare, and she's calling in from Nevada. So that's very important, that people who are on our Zoomer Times TV, a lot of them are not local. Some are, but you wouldn't know it. Everybody kind of looks the same in their office or their home or wherever they are. So welcome, Roberta. Thanks for being here with us again.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So Roberta, please explain to people, it's an elevator speech in a way, but it's longer than that. Tell us what the AIM program consists of and what would it be like if we didn't have it?
Well, that's a loaded question. Well, the AIM program it does so many things for us physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. It kind of works on us with our own, we're doing the work, basically. It's a tool for us to self-heal ourselves. And sometimes people say, well, I'm not sick. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about our bodies as a whole. That's our spirituality. That's our mental outlook on things. That's our inner strength to overcome whatever's going on in the world, illness, maybe, things that are going on in our lives, the stresses and strains of everyday life. Because let's face it, we all have them. So don't we need a tool to help us? Well, that's where AIM comes into play. So it's not just if, that you're sick and that you need some help. That's not what it's about. AIM program helps raise our life force and our vibration. And we want to raise our vibration. When we raise our vibration, we become more vibrant, of course. We attract more positive things, more positive energy. We radiate positive energy. And we are able to get our inner strength, which is what we call our life force, to 100, which is our optimum. When we're at the optimum, we're running, it's like putting in good gas in your car. Your car's running really good versus maybe it's limping along because you didn't use the correct gas or you didn't take it in to be serviced. We're kind of like a machine. We're made up of all these molecules, and we have this matrix of us. Each one of us vibrates at a different level. The AIM program takes those vibrations and matches them to the vibrations that are being sent by the computer and removes any negative vibration. So it helps us to overcome, like I was saying before, stresses and strains, but also hereditary dispositions. It helps us to balance those. When we're balanced, it's kind of like listening also to great music when you're working out or you're relaxing. There's some music that you turn on and you go, gosh, that just doesn't sound good to me today. And you switch it to something else. Your vibration changed. So today your vibration is more into another type of music versus what you were into yesterday. I know that happened to me over the weekend. I have this wonderful CD that I just love, and it's kind of new, and I've been listening to it a lot. I put it in the car when I was doing my errands, and I was like, ugh, I'm not really into this one today. So I had to switch it out and put something else in. So it doesn't mean it's forever. It just means that at that point in time, your vibration has shifted. So that's kind of where the AIM program helps us to change those vibrations so that we create more positively and more positive things come to us. So maybe you're looking for a job. Maybe you're looking for that special someone. Maybe there's things going on in the office that you are having challenges with. There's different frequencies on AIM that can help us to balance those out. Now, don't get me wrong, because a friend of mine the other day said, I feel like down today, but I'm on AIM. I shouldn't be feeling down. And I said, well, just because you're on AIM doesn't mean you're never going to have a bad day. It's how do we perform on those bad days? How long does that bad day last? So that's kind of where the AIM program, again, comes into play, is we're trying to help us live our best life. So we have frequencies on there to help us with our mental outlook, our spiritual outlook, our health outlook. We have anti-aging frequencies. We have all these things to help us to live that best life that we're all trying to live. That's my elevator speech. I know it's a little long, but
that was, we were going from the 1,000th floor down, which I loved. That was great. Well, that's the AIM program. If you want to know more, you won't get it as well done, but because you have a co-founder talking, that's what Roberta Hladek is, but get on the aimprogram.com and you'll see a lot more about it. So while you were talking, I had a lot of things I was going to interrupt you, and I decided not to because you were doing such a great job. But I wanted to ask you about time travel, because I just saw a movie recently on time travel. And
Woo.
someone said, well, Einstein talked about time travel, Back to the Future. Do you ever do anything with time travel?
No, I haven't, but that's really, I've always been interested in it because I always wonder, like sometimes I think I was like, I love the cowboys and I love to be, traditional cowboys, not the football team. But I've always wanted to live on a ranch and have horses. So I always think that maybe in my past life, or, if I could time travel backwards a little bit, I think it'd be kind of fun. But then I'd also like to time travel forward and see what happened. Where we're going. Yeah. It would
Yeah,
be
I'm gonna read that book again, Back to the Future. I don't remember it really well, but someone mentioned it. And then Einstein talked about it, which I didn't remember either. But you do very interesting, I would call it experiments that turn out to be the thing to do. And I want people to say, okay, I want to know how to become a member. What do I do? And then they say, but what really is it? How do you do this? So why don't you go over the computer, and then we're going to give some examples.
Sure. What we do is you fill out an application. You can go to our website, which is aimprogram.com, and complete application, or you can contact us at 702-944-1801, and we can mail an application packet to you. But if you go online, you can complete it online. We need a photograph with no one else in the picture, just you. And what we do is we place it on these trays. And on our website, I did a video which shows the trays, so it makes it easier to connect those dots. I'm a more visual person, so I like to see what it is. It's hard for me to visualize. So when you go to our website, there's a 2-minute video, and it shows you where the trays are. We have them in these wooden bins, and there's trays that are metal that are connected to a computer system that is sending energy to those trays. What those trays do is they vibrate. When I was talking about vibrations earlier, well, we're all vibrating at a different rate. So those frequencies are vibrating those trays. And when they put our photo on those trays, it matches the vibrations that we need at that time. And inside us, we know what's good and what's going on with us. We know what's out of sync and what's good. And if we're sick, we know it inside and we know what's wrong. So if we can listen to our bodies a little bit, but that's where AIM helps us out there. AIM is sending those vibrations to us so we can match them up and remove them. And that's what raises our vibration. It raises our life force. So that's kind of how the AIM program works. And it's very easy to do. Once you send in your application, you're on for a full year. So you don't really have to even think about it. Your body is going to do the work. So it's not like you have to come in or travel anywhere or take anything. It's all done for you. Basically, you're doing the work. You don't have to stop anything that you're doing currently. So if you're on medications, we ask you not to stop them. If you have doctor's appointments and need medical help, please do that. This is not in the place of medical. We're not doctors. We're just looking at the spiritual side of things and raising our vibration.
That's a good point. That's so well said. And as you were talking about that, I was thinking that people can have their family on it. They can have their dog on it. I mean, so there's a membership, but it can include a lot of people. And recently you explained to some people who were members, but then they had a son who had COVID, I think it was. And talk about that. That was really, I don't want to use the word miracle, but it certainly was some good thinking.
Yes, he parents and aunts and uncles were all on the program, starting what we call a family plan, where you can have 5 folks on. and it's at a discounted rate. And he was going to be put on the family plan, and he was filling out his application. And by the time we got it, he had contracted COVID in the very early months of us finding out about it. It was way back in March of last year. And he's a young man, I think he's 36, I'm not sure on his age, very fit, very healthy man. And he had to be put in the hospital, and he was actually on a ventilator. And
Wow.
within 20 days, I believe, he went on the program, and within 20 days, they had him off the ventilator, and he was on the road to recovery. So I'm sure his age, maybe his physical, all those things are part and parcel of the pie in helping him get well. He had a very great team of doctors that were helping him. I thought it was really interesting, and it restored my faith in, what we hear about and things. This woman doctor that he had thought how important it is for a patient to have some kind of connection with their family when they're not feeling good. And when you're in the hospital now, our family members can't come visit. So it's very difficult. So she got her phone and she FaceTimed with his family so he could see his family. And she said it made a big difference. And he says that when he got to see his mom and dad and, family members, aunts and uncles, whatever, they were all there. He got to see them. And even though he wasn't able to speak real well because he had the ventilator, he was still a little sore and a lot of things going on. He was able to give him a thumbs up and tell him, in certain ways that he was doing better. So it helped the family and it helped him. So I thought that was just so
Great.
cool. What a fabulous
Oh,
doctor.
such a wonderful story. Yeah, great doctor to do that. I think some other nurses and all have tried to be able to do that with those patients because it's breaking their heart. They look at it and the family member can't talk to them.
And I know
So-
they're under so much pressure and they're so busy and they've got so much going on. I thought it was just fabulous that these healthcare workers are thinking beyond and going that extra step to help these folks feel better. And even if they don't make it, at least they had a little bit of a connection with someone, because it's just so hard, and it's got to be the worst job in the world. It's got to be so heartbreaking all the time. They're special people.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Have you had any other people who got on COVID who are your members, or is it just keeping them out of it?
We've had a few folks say they've tested positive. Some didn't. We had a couple, husband and wife, up in Idaho, and they survived it there, but they did have the effects of it. Didn't go to the hospital or anything like that, but felt the fatigue, some kind of, he called it brain fog, and just not feeling right. And they're doing fabulous. So they passed it. They're hanging in there and doing, they're out riding bikes and mountain biking and running and doing all their physical activities. And they're between the ages of 60 and 70. So they're doing really, really well. So we've had really positive results. I think AIM is very crucial at this time to help us raise that vibration, because when we have an increased life force, we have more inner strength, and that's what we need. We need a boost in our immune system and that kind of thing. But if we can't do it, then we've got to talk to our doctors and find out how we can strengthen ourselves so that if we do get it, we get over it quickly. That's what it's all about.
And your staff have been okay also, all of you?
Yes, knock on wood. We've all been doing great. My mom had it way back in July, and she
I
only
remember.
Yeah, she only for like a day, and she's 93 and going strong. So, she can walk circles around me. So, she's just doing really, really well. But she says too, it's because she's been on AIM for so long, because she worked with us back in the day, and then now she's on the program. So doing good. We're all, it's remarkable.
Talk to us about people's pets. We don't really share that very often. Tell us what you know about pets and what's happened with people who are AIM and they have their pets on AIM.
I have a great
I know
story.
you must have a lot of stories.
Oh gosh, we have so many, but a friend of mine has a cat, and Hemi, she's going to be 26. And Hemi, they took her to the doctor because she wasn't eating, and she was just and he didn't even think to ask me about, could he put her on AIM? Because he and his mom are both on AIM. So he took her to the doctor, and the vet said, well, she's getting older and she's kind of lost a little bit of her sight and that kind of thing. And she said, she's 26, and they're kind of guessing at her age, but he's had her for 25 years. And he said he knows she was like,
gosh.
Right? So he's always rescuing. That's his thing. He rescues. So Hemi, we put her on AIM. And the vet kind of thought that, it was just a matter of time. Well, it's been a year now. Hemi's gained weight. She's running around. And as long as they don't move things, she knows where things are and she doesn't run into anything. And they got her a little fountain because it makes noise. And so now she goes right to the fountain and drinks and she plays in it. And she's just happy.
Oh my goodness.
She's just precious. She's just, I can't believe how good she looks. Her fur is beautiful. I mean, she looks great for 26.
26, I didn't know that. What kind of a dog is she?
She's a cat. She's like
Oh, it's a cat.
Yeah, she's just a orange tabby. And she's going to be
26. I know Dan's listening. That must really be, it's amazing. 26 years old. Wow. Okay, well, that's a good story. Any others with any dogs or anything?
We've got a lot of dogs that are on AIM that are doing great and have had issues. I just checked a dog the other day, so I'm waiting to see how she does. She looks like Lassie. She's beautiful. And she had some issues with her liver. So I'm hoping that I found some new frequencies in her that weren't on AIM. So I'm hoping that those will kick in and she'll be able to start feeling better. And I have one more other COVID story though. We have a participant who's 85 who got a vaccine and reacted to it, which it's just some people's systems, and the doctor said he's totally healthy. He runs, he goes on his boat, he's doing a lot of things, but he had some issues after the vaccine and he did have to go to the hospital. He's now doing fabulous. So, it's just crazy. He's just doing so well.
It must make you so happy because it's the first time, I think, since you've been working in this field that there was a crisis like this and that you could actually measure things. Is that true?
Yeah, we had a little bit when SARS came about. It wasn't, like what we're going through now, not at all. But we've got so many animals that come on our program. My own cats, they're 12 and I rescued them and they're on the program and they're just doing great. They're like little kittens. Our office cat, Hazel's going to be 16 this year. And she's like kitten. She's pretty fluffy and she's a little overweight, I think. But, so it works on, so many things. We have folks that have houses on. One woman just contacted me and said she's been having problems with her home with water pipes breaking. So she's putting her home on AIM. to help that. And so we've had, all kinds of things on AIM, skateboards and CDs, music CDs that musicians have to get out and want to put on AIM. We've had books, gerbils. Gosh, we had the whale. We had Keiko the whale.
What?
We had with pigs. He had prize pigs, and he had a whole, like 12 pigs on for a while. He was a hog farmer. We had one person want to put their cornfield on so that they would have a good crop. All sorts of fun things. The sky's the limit.
Yeah. Why don't you explain that a little bit more in depth about putting inanimate objects, inanimate as well as not dogs, but like the whale, the pigs. What is it? So you get a picture for these particular, whether products or the animals, and it goes in the tray. And what does it do there? Because I always thought you said you can heal yourself. Well, these things, how does it heal? How does it sell it? How does it heal itself?
Well, I think it's similar when we put on the program and a baby doesn't they're not articulate yet. They're brand new babies and they're healing themselves too. So I think it's same with the animals, that inside they know what's right and wrong with them. They communicate, they just don't communicate in English with us. So they have no prejudice, right? They don't know what's going on around them. They don't pick up on anything. They just know that we love them, right? When I come home, my cat greets me at the door no matter what kind of day I've had, right? So I think, they heal probably faster than we do. And so like the pigs, he wanted them to be healthy so he could get a good price for them. And they did fabulous. I mean, they gained a lot of weight. And I was hoping that those frequencies didn't translate to all of us gaining weight. But, for the pigs, it just depends on, I think, the animal. And like when we put homes on AIM or the cornfield, it's just a balance of the energy. I think it's just you're more in tune with the universe. And, sometimes they say, you can't, swim upstream. Well, sometimes we push against. So if we're in tune with the universe, a lot of things can fall into place for us.
So well said. I was thinking because we know that everything's energy anyway. And so you're right. No matter what it is, if it's inanimate or it's an animal or a plant, it's all going to experience that. So let me ask you a question. If I'm on AIM and I touch my tomato plant and I want it to grow better, will I pass my energy on to that tomato plant?
I think we do. I think that I've kind of seen it in a family where husband and wife, husband's not too into it or the wife isn't, one or the other. And one of them is on AIM, and sometimes the other half doesn't know they're on AIM, doesn't know that the wife is on AIM or the husband's on AIM. And they've told me that they think that it translates onto the other half that's not on AIM because they've seen changes in them. And then it's like, before you know it, the other half is like wanting to get on the program, and then both of them are on. It happens more times than not. And then when we put our homes or what have you on, I know my home is on AIM and the office here is on AIM. But when our people come into my home, and I've probably said this before, but they always say, wow, it's so nice in here. It feels so good. And I have a little Buddha statue, and they go, oh, it must be because you have a Buddha statue. And I'm like, okay, well, if you want to think it's the Buddha, go ahead. I'm sure it helps. But I always say it's what I do for a living, and that's what it is. And then they all go, well, I want to go on. So then I always tell them, go to the website, check it out first. So you know what you're doing.
Right. Let me just then give you more information now that you've gotten your your whistle wet, as they say. You're wanting to do more. So it's really it's called aimprogram.com. You'll get on their website, but if you want to call, it's 702-944-1801, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, that's what you need to do. You can see their little ad in Boomer Times, and it can change your life. I mean, I have to tell you, it's very exciting because you don't have to do anything other than just joining with them, and they have thousands of people on this. They've been doing this a long time. I keep thinking about Wayne Dyer, who is a very close friend of the founders, and also who believed in this a lot, to the point where he used to work with a lot of people, and a lot of people who had mental illness and physical illness. And I know you could talk a little bit about that and what you've all done because of it. I think it's such a wonderful thing that you do this.
Yeah, our dear friend Wayne, he asked us if we had worked with autism or Down syndrome, and we hadn't. And this was quite early on when we started AIM back in 1999. And so we said, well, let's do a scholarship. And so Wayne, anyone, because he was out speaking all over the world, and we said, anyone you come in contact with that you feel could be on the program and is willing to come on the program, we'll give them a free program with Downs or autism. And we had a young girl, she's our star pupil. She's now, I think, 24 or 25. And she was one of the first people to come on AIM as the autistic scholarship. And what we request is it's a free scholarship as long as we see the autism frequency on our program. And then we request 4 reports every year, just telling us how they're doing each quarter. And that's basically for us to check and see how we're doing and make sure that we get the right frequencies on to help the participant. And this young woman, she started with her grandmother writing her reports, and then she decided she should write her own reports because she was actually with it. So she started writing her own reports, and I think she came on when she was 9 or 10. And so she's now graduated from college. She's got a great job. She's married. She's living on her own. She's just doing fabulous. And her grandmother says every day, she'll send us reports every once in a while, and she'll say, I just can't believe how much she's changed from being on the program. So that's one of our star pupils. We have a little boy in Nigeria. His dad sent us a report just the other day, and he was telling us that his little boy now makes eye contact with him where he didn't before. He's eating better. He's able to sit still long enough to eat dinner with the family. And he's taking an interest in himself, and he's like 7. And he's just doing fabulous. And the dad said, he's just incredibly thankful that he's hoping that his son will be able to, live in the quote unquote normal world, whatever that is, right?
Well,
but that's
Roberta, this was wonderful. It's funny, when we first start out, we never going to know what we're going to talk about, but you're terrific. You're such a star. I love that. And we're just now run out of time, but Roberta, this was so wonderful. Every time you talk, I get so enthused again and again and again. So thank you so much. And we'll talk to you soon again, and just keep doing the wonderful things. In fact, I just want to say one thing. If any of you want to donate to this organization to maybe pay for someone that can't afford it, just call Roberta and she'll make that happen. I just thought about that. There might be people who want to do that. Yeah. Okay, everyone. Thank you. Goodbye, Roberta. Thank you very much.
Good to talk.
Yep.